Your furnace blows cold air, and your air conditioner doesn't. Water seems to go everywhere you don't want it to, and your kitchen and bath haven't been remodeled since the 50s. Well, welcome to the Home Improvement Hour with Dick Ray, the Master Plumber. Kansas City has depended on Dick Ray and Shawnee Mission Plumbing, Heating and Cooling to solve heating, cooling, plumbing, and remodeling problems for over 50 years. All you need to do is call 576-7798. And now the Master Plumber with a degree in mechanical engineering is here to help. Here's the potentate of pipes, the Earl of Electricity, the Emperor of Air, the Imperial Poobah of Plumbing, the Grand Toileteer, the Master Plumber, Dick Ray.
And good morning. You're listening to the Home Improvement Hour with Dick Ray, the Master Plumber. And I'm here every Sunday from 11 to noon on KMBZ. And hopefully after you listen to this show, you're a little bit smarter about how some of the mechanical systems work in your house, or at least that's our intent. Try to give out good information that you would find useful as a homeowner, especially, I suppose, if you have an older home that maybe was built when they didn't have all the new stuff that we've got now. And if you're like a lot of homeowners, you may be wondering when you hear about new products, is it really good? Is it all cracked up to what it's supposed to be, or is it just a bunch of hoopla? And I try and help with that kind of stuff too, because it is, I mean, it's tough sometimes. You hear about a new product, and of course the manufacturer that's advertising is going to tell you it's the most wonderful thing in the world, and a lot of the stuff is, but there's some of the stuff that's not all that great too. So we try and help you sort that kind of stuff out. If you're a do-it-yourselfer, I know a lot of do-it-yourselfers listen to the show because they know that I'm glad to help you out with your do-it-yourself projects, and I think that's good help to get from somebody like me, because I've been doing the things that I talk about on this show for many, many years. I grew up in a business started by my father, and now I run it. And so, you know, when your dad owns a business, child labor laws do not apply, and you can... Golly, I think I probably started helping my dad carrying his tools into jobs before I was a teenager. And so, anyway, been at it a long time. And if you're a do-it-yourselfer wanting tips on a job or how to do it and have it be a better job, or how to make it a little bit easier, maybe, I'm the guy. I'm glad to help out with stuff like that, and we do a lot of that on this show. You know, I mowed my grass this morning before I came in to do the show, and my grass is just as green as it was last spring. And I'll tell you what, we have lucked out on the weather this summer. I mean, here we are mid-August, and, you know, I mean, it won't be that much longer before fall's here, and the grass still is as green as all get out. And I don't water my grass either. I don't have a sprinkler system or anything like that. It's just green because because of all this cool weather and because of the rain that we've been getting. I tell you what, we are lucking out. And here we are with another relatively cool day. It's cloudy, and I guess you could complain because of the clouds, but the way I look at it, the clouds make it a little cooler, and to me that's a good thing. You're listening to a guy that, oh golly, when I retire, I'm not going to go to Florida, I'll guarantee that. My body cannot handle hot weather. And you're probably going to think I'm nuts, but I could see retiring in Alaska. And, you know, it gets 50 below zero there in the wintertime. But I tell you what, I can handle that a lot better than I can 90 or 100 degrees. Anyway, hey, last week I talked about something, and I'm going to continue with that topic just a little bit, and then we're going to get to the phone lines and answer your questions. And by the way, if you have a question and you already know that you want to talk to me later on in the show, give us a call right now. Now is the time when not all the phone lines are open, but enough of them are open that you can get in. So if you give me a holler right now, you're guaranteed to get an open line later on in the show. it gets difficult. All the lines fill up in your phone and you get a busy signal, and that's not a good thing. But if you call right now, guaranteed to get in. The number is 576-7798. So give us a call, guaranteed to get in. 576-7798. And I started a topic last week, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about it today. And the topic, I guess, has to do with reasons to replace your air conditioner. And I told a story about a job that we did. That happens every now and then, and that is it's a homeowner was looking at an expensive repair bill on his air conditioner. It was over $1,000, and the air conditioner is 15 years old, and so he opted to replace the air conditioner. And of course, when you do that, you get a brand new air conditioner, which is going to cause fewer problems. It's going to be more efficient. It's going to have lower utility bills, and all that's a good thing. And you're not going to believe this. You probably think that, well, that's probably why most people replace their air conditioner. It has a serious problem. It's going to be expensive to repair. It's old. It's inefficient. And hey, makes good sense to replace it at that point. But you may not believe this, but most air conditioners that we replace don't fall into that category. Most air conditioners we replace, believe it or not, are still functioning normally, and they get replaced when they're still cooling the house just perfectly. And I used to think they got replaced for efficiency reasons, but after talking to homeowners for many years and having replaced a lot of air conditioners, I have reached a conclusion that people replace their air conditioners that are still working, and the reason they do it is because they are worried about the reliability of the air conditioner as it gets older. And that's a logical concern. As an air conditioner gets older, it's going to have more breakdowns. And, of course, Murphy's Law says the darn thing's going to break at the worst possible time. It's going to be the 4th of July weekend, and it's going to be 105 degrees. And all your relatives are going to be visiting you for the 4th of July weekend, and you're having a big picnic at your house, and the air conditioner quits. And, of course, it's a holiday weekend, so it's hard to get somebody to come out and work on it. And when you do, of course, they're going to want overtime. And people get nervous about that. And that is the number one reason that air conditioners get replaced. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that scenario now. Old air conditioners that just get replaced because they're 15 years old, and people don't want to lose the reliability that a newer air conditioner has. And to start this off, that these days it seems like everything you hear advertised as being energy saving. It's going to cut your electric bill, or it's going to cut your gas bill in half. Now, a lot of this stuff you hear in advertisements these days is pretty much just a blatant lie, or at best very misleading. And if you're like me, you really don't know what to believe and what not to believe. Every day we're bombarded with advertisements for replacement windows, new siding, insulation, energy wraps, window tinting, CFL light bulbs, and of course, furnaces and air conditioners. And this is to name but a few. And a lot of these products claim to be the answer to dramatic decreases in your energy bills. And some of these claims are true. Many, unfortunately, are not true. Now, in analyzing the energy costs in your home and trying to cut back on energy costs, obviously, one of the most important things to consider are the big energy-consuming appliances in your home, and the two biggest would be your furnace and your air conditioner. Those are the biggest energy-using appliances in your home. If you could cut the energy consumption of both your furnace and air conditioner in half, boy, you would quickly notice a tremendous decrease in both your gas and electric bills. I mean, a tremendous decrease. Now, I'm not saying that the energy consumed by your washing machine or your refrigerator is completely unimportant. but they both use a relatively small amount of energy when compared to your furnace and air conditioner. Now, if you buy a new washing machine and it uses only half as much electricity as the old one did, that's a good thing. But are you going to notice a huge drop in your electric bill? No, you aren't. Well, maybe if you have 4 teenage daughters that you do a lot of laundry, you'll notice more, but typically you're not going to notice as much because typically the amount of electricity used by your washing machine is very small in comparison to that used by your air conditioner or your furnace. Not saying it's unimportant, but buy an energy efficient, I'm not saying it's unimportant to buy an energy efficient washing machine or refrigerator or dryer or microwave oven or whatever it happens to be. But if you want to make a big impact on lowering your electric and gas bills, concentrate on the big energy consuming appliances like your furnace and air conditioner. That's where you have the opportunity to make a big dollar difference in your gas and electric bills. And I hear that all the time from my customers where we've installed new high-efficiency heating and cooling equipment. And my customers are pleasantly surprised at the substantial reduction in both their gas and electric bills. I think they're surprised because I told them when I sold them the new furnace or air conditioner that it was more efficient and they were going to have utility bills, and they're probably thinking in their mind, yeah, that's what everybody tells me. And so maybe they're a little bit surprised when it actually comes to fruition and their utility bills are substantially lower. So how many dollars can you realistically expect to save by installing a new high-efficiency air conditioner, for example? Well, I'm going to tell you a story to answer that question. But first, I'm going to say that in general, the older your air conditioner is, the more you can expect to save by replacing it with a new higher efficiency model. Because the older the air conditioner, the less efficient it is generally. And the older it is, the bigger your electric bills will be with that old air conditioner. Well, a few weeks ago, we replaced an old Lennox model HS6 air conditioner, which had been installed new in 1967. That's 47 years ago. I'm not gonna tell you that's typical. Actually, that's a heck of a testimony to Lennox. I'm not saying that most Lennox air conditioners last 47 years because they don't, but that's one of the reasons I chose to sell Lennox is because they have a tradition for quality. Anyway, now that air conditioners, again, don't typically last that long, but I'm using this as my first example to show you how much a new air conditioner can save you on your utility bills if the old one is really old and inefficient. Then I'm going to give you a more typical example, one that's not so old, an air conditioner that's not so old. Now, this 47-year-old unit we replaced was built before the federal government started assigning SEER efficiency ratings to air conditioners. But if they had rated it, it would have been rated at about 6.0, which is not good. That's really inefficient, and that's really an energy gobbler, electricity gobbler. Now, the new unit we replaced the old one with had a SEER efficiency rating of 13.5. The old SEER rating of 6.0 divided by the new SEER rating of 13.5, well, that boils down to a 56% reduction in electricity consumed by the new air conditioner compared to the old one. Now, 50% reduction in electricity consumed, that's a big change in your electric bill. That's worth going after. Now, keep in mind that example was for replacement of a 47-year-old air conditioner, which is far from typical. Now, let's talk about a more typical replacement job. Let's talk about the replacement of an air conditioner that's about 15 years old, which is what most of the ones that we replace are, about 15 years old. And let's say this 15-year-old air conditioner has a SEER efficiency rating of 10.0. which again is a typical number for an air conditioner of that age. And again, we're going to say that the new air conditioner we installed is a 13.5. That's the SEER rating of the new unit, because again, that's fairly typical of most units we install these days. Now, with this newer 15-year-old unit, we're not going to save 56% on electricity like we did when the unit we were replacing was 47 years old, but we still are going to save about 26% of the cooling portion of our electric bill. That's a little over a fourth, and that's not too shabby. Now, what I've just given you is kind of a worst-case scenario, because on many installations we do, the SEER efficiency rating of the new air conditioner actually turns out to be 14 or 15, depending on the model of air conditioner and the type of motor used in the furnace. And in those cases, with a little bit higher SEER efficiency rating in the new unit, savings on the cooling portion of electric bills can be 35% or more. That's over a third, and that is not unusual. Anyway, the thing to get out of all this is that since an air conditioner, or a furnace for that matter, uses a lot of energy, uses a lot of the energy used in your home, replacing your old heating and cooling equipment with new, higher efficiency equipment generally is going to make a very significant difference in your electric and your gas bills. Anyway, that's about it. That's what I wanted to cover. If you have any questions about all this, or about the new air conditioners and furnaces and how they're different from the older equipment and how they save energy, or about what exactly is this SEER efficiency rating and how savings are calculated, the phone lines are now open, so give me a call right now. Actually, it looks like they're all lit up, so I'll cancel that request. Anyway, you can call me later after somebody drops off if you have questions, or, of course, if you have questions about really anything else, you can call me, or if you have a question about something else mechanical in your home or something funny that's going on that you don't understand and you don't know whether to worry about it or not. Or maybe you've got a do-it-yourself project you'd like to have a little bit of help with, and, of course, I'll be glad to talk about that, too. Keep in mind, I do the things that I talk about on this show. I do them every day for a living, and that would include fixing and replacing broken air conditioners and furnaces and heat pumps and plumbing repairs, as well as replacement of leaky showers and stuff like that. So, if I can pass on any information to you, I'm more than glad to do it. You can't call in right this minute, but as soon as somebody drops off, the number is 576-7798. So hang on just a little bit. You're listening to the Home Improvement Hour with Dick Ray, the Master Plumber. We're going to take a short break, and then we'll be right back to the phones.
This is Dick Ray, the Master Plumber at Shawnee Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. A sewer odor in your home can be downright embarrassing and tough to find, too. Because you can't see the odor, a lot of plumbers don't know how to deal with them, but I do. You know, my dad was a very smart man, and 40 years ago, he invented and fabricated equipment to make those pesky sewer odors visible and easy to find using smoke from industrial smoke bombs. For over 40 years, we've used the equipment my dad invented to find sewer odors that other plumbers have just given up on. With this smoke testing equipment, we've even found hidden sewer odors, leaks inside of walls, sometimes under floors, hidden away in attics, or even underground. If you have an embarrassing sewer odor and want it found by someone who knows what they're doing, give me a call. Sewer odors, located and repaired by Dick Ray, the Master Plumber, the best that money can buy.
Deep, rich, color finishes bring a whole new dimension to faucet design, and vibrant finish for life adds durable luster. Create a look that's all your own, from pure and elegant polished chrome to the sophisticated warmth of vibrant French gold. Mix textures or opt for color finish accents for the best of both worlds. Consider updating every faucet in the house. So many beautiful options to offer endless possibilities. See all the choices at the beautiful showroom of Dick Ray, the Master Plumber.
This is Dick Ray, the Master Plumber at Shawnee Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. The biggest problem with repairing a broken sewer is figuring out exactly what the problem with the troublesome sewer is, and then, more importantly, pinpointing the exact location of the problem so that it can be either dug up under the basement floor or outside the house in the yard. Knowing what the problem is and where to dig is crucial to minimize costs and to minimize the amount of digging needed. We bought a sewer inspection camera years ago so that we can run it through your problem sewer to see where the problem is and to pinpoint exactly where to dig to minimize costs when we come back with our jackhammer to dig under your basement floor or come back with our backhoe to dig up your sewer outside. We do a lot of this kind of work, and we're good at it. Sewer Repairs by Dick Ray, the Master Plumber, the best that money can buy.
This is 98.1 FM, KMBZ.
And we're back. You're listening to the Home Improvement Hour with Dick Ray, the Master Plumber. We're going to get to the phone lines now. We're going to spend the rest of the hour on the phones answering your question. Looks like all the lines are open, or no, they're all busy. So I better shut up and get to the phone so we can answer some questions. And let's see. Let's start with Nelson in Gladstone. Hi, Nelson. What can I do for you?
Oh, good morning, young man.
Whoa. Now, what's going on here? I can hear you, but something's wrong. Is that us, Robert? Or? Okay. Boy. Hey, Nelson, can you call us back? I don't know what's going on, but there's a real bad noise on your phone. Can you call us right back? Okay. I don't know what that was. Try him again? Okay. Nelson, are you there? We're going to try one more time here.
Yes, I am.
Okay. Now that sounds a lot better. I don't know what happened there. What can I do for you?
I have several things, but the most important is, yes, I did replace my system some time ago. Well, not some time ago, actually fairly recently, with a very high efficiency unit. Cost more than I thought it was going to do, but the reduction in my energy use was worth it. So there's a vote of confidence in your statement.
Yeah.
And
every day you said it costs more than you thought it was going to. Everything does, doesn't it? Or it does for me.
Well, yeah, but then there's the issue of the humidifier that I installed with it.
Okay.
Found out a little while ago that there was a filter in it, and
yeah.
I know where it is.
Yep.
I know how to take it out.
Okay.
And I want to know if it's to be replaced or if it's to be cleaned, and if so, how to do it.
Oh, humidifier filters, they should just be replaced, and they ought to be replaced, right about this time of year, September or October, when you fire up your furnace, and they don't cost all that much, and you're better off just replacing it rather than trying to clean it. Is it an April Air? Is it an April Air humidifier? Is it an April Air brand humidifier? They're the best.
No. I'm a refugee from California, and a lot of these things I don't know.
Okay.
It's a General Air.
General? Okay. Yeah, that's a well-known brand. Yeah, just replace the filter in the humidifier. Replace it once a year. That's the best way to do it. That'll keep the output of the humidifier up where you want it. And better to just clean it than better to replace it than try to clean it. It's got a coating on it that makes the pad work better, and if you try and clean the lime off of it, you'll clean that coating off too, and that's not good. So just replace it.
Will the thing be relatively easy to find? Should I find it just about anywhere?
General will be easy to find. You'll probably have to go to a heating and cooling contractor like me, but General's a big brand name. They'll be easy to find. I've got them in stock. Okie doke?
Well, that's a good excuse for me to stop at Slaps Barbecue and come over to your store and buy them.
Absolutely. Come visit us.
The other comment that I had is sadly it didn't get hot enough this summer so far to ripen Linda's peaches.
Oh, hey, I'm sorry for Linda's peaches, but I like it being cool.
Yeah, me too. Okay, I will endeavor to get this thing replaced. I will do it soon, and I just found out about it a little while ago.
Okay.
So it's been in there for probably 2 years or
Oh,
something
okay.
like that.
That's okay. Just replace it this
So I'll
year.
get another one. And,
Okay.
And thank you so very much, and you guys have a super day.
Thank you, Nelson. Welcome to Kansas. All righty. That opens the line if you'd like to join us. We're going to break now for the news, and we're going to be right back to the phone. So one open line, 576-7798. Be right back.
The most news, the most traffic, the most weather.
24/7.
KMBZ.
Kansas City.
11:31 in Kansas City from the KMBZ Newsroom. I'm Cody Tapp. Governor Jay Nixon calling for a fair investigation into the Michael Brown shooting in Ferguson last week. A police officer shot and killed the 18-year-old just 8 days ago in the Tennessee mini protests, some of them becoming violent. Governor Nixon spoke to ABC's This Week today.
These acts, unfortunately, bring a great deal of emotion. Over the last few days, as the Department of Justice has ramped up its investigation and the local prosecutors working, this is an opportunity for them to step up and get justice, but these investigations need to be complete, thorough, and get justice.
Now your forecast from KMBZ staff meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
85 for the afternoon high temperature today under mostly sunny skies. For tonight, upper 60s with a few clouds. Tomorrow will start off partly sunny, clouds moving into the afternoon with a chance of late day showers and thunderstorms. Our high in the upper 80s, 92, and sunshine on Tuesday. I'm staff meteorologist Steve Hamilton, KMBZ Weather.
Right now, 72 at KCI, 71 in Smithville, and 73 at your official weather station. I'm Cody Tapp. Stay connected with 98.1 FM KMBZ and KMBZ.com.
This is Dick Ray, the Master Plumber. If you're like a lot of people and just hate your toilet because it gets plugged so frequently, and if you're at the point where you're saying, I'm sick of this, I want the best flushing toilet known to mankind, then you want a Gerber Ultra Flush toilet. It still only uses 1.6 gallons of water per flush, but that 1.6 gallons of water is stored in the toilet tank under pressure, and when it's released, you've never seen a flush that powerful in anybody's home. It's really dramatic. Often people will put things down toilets and public restrooms that they wouldn't in their own homes, like rags or handy wipes or tampons. Or maybe you have a family member with large, firm stools. Whatever the reason, if you really want the most powerful flush available, you want a Gerber Ultra Flush toilet. You can see the flush in the live models in my showroom, too. Gerber Power Flush toilets installed by Dick Ray, the Master Plumber, the best that money can buy.
Kohler products offer intrinsic quality born of tradition, skills passed down through generations combined with innovative techniques and timeless design to establish the enduring character for which Kohler is known. There is no substitute for the knowing hand that sculpts the rim of a pedestal lavatory or the eye that precisely measures the thickness of enamel on red-hot Kohler cast iron as if by instinct. The experience is bold. The experience is art. This experience is the bold look of Kohler. See it all at the showroom of Dick Ray, the Master Plumber.
This is Dick Ray, the Master Plumber at Shawnee Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. When it comes time to spruce up your kitchen or bath, if you want your new kitchen or bath to end up looking just like all your neighbors, just go down to the closest home center and choose from the same fast-moving product that home centers just love to stock. Stuff your neighbors just chose from. But if you want something different, something nicer, something not just like all your neighbors have, then you're going to have to come to a really nice, larger showroom like my Kohler registered showroom, where you can pick from a much wider variety of faucets and kitchen sinks and toilets and whirlpools and stuff like that. Really nice stuff, not just like all your neighbors have. Kohler fixtures and faucets installed by Dick Ray, the Master Plumber, the best that money can buy.
This is KMBZ.
And we're back. You're listening to the Home Improvement Hour with Dick Ray, the Master Plumber. We're going to spend the rest of the show on the phones answering your questions, and looks like all the lines are lit up, so I better shut up so we can answer some questions here. And we will start with Connie in Belton. Hi, Connie. What can I do for you?
Hi. Yeah, I was wondering, somebody said that putting coffee grounds in your food disposal will clean it out, and that's a good way to clean it periodically. Is there
oh my
something?
God!
I know.
Is this somebody that was mad at you and has a score to settle with you?
Actually, I don't have a food disposal. I don't really care for them that much. This is for I'm calling for my neighbor.
Oh. Boy, you do not want to follow that advice, I'll tell you what. Unless you want to see me out there cleaning out your kitchen drain.
Well, that's what I said. I said, let's just hold off on that, and I'll call Dick Ray.
Coffee grounds are so small, they'll go right through a disposal. That's not the problem. The problem is I've seen a lot of times where a big load of coffee grounds that got dumped down the disposer or the other side of the kitchen sink, for that matter, just overloaded the drain. And if the drain was partially plugged up, they plugged it up the rest of the way, and then the drain's plugged up, and then you have to call the plumber to clean it out. And of course, the plumber doesn't do that for free. He leaves with some of your hard-earned money. So
yeah.
Don't do that. I'll tell you, if you want to clean your garbage disposal out, and I tell people this all the time, garbage disposals get dirty on the inside if people baby them and don't put bones and hard food particles down them, and so they get a soft sludge of decaying soft food particles in there, and it can smell really bad. And if that's what you're trying to cure, the best thing you can put down the disposer are ice cubes. Just grind up a bunch of ice cubes, and the ice cubes moving around inside the disposer, the chips of ice will scour the inside of the disposer. They're not going to plug up the drain, because once they get in the drain, even if they did plug up the drain, they're going to melt and turn into water. So anyway, now don't put coffee. I would if you put coffee grounds down a garbage disposal, put them down just a little bit at a time with a lot of water, or better yet, just put them in the trash can. Coffee grounds. Oh, you don't want to do that.
Oh, thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Have a good day.
You bet. Appreciate the call. Yeah, whoever told her that must have been mad at her. God. Or I guess they probably just didn't know any better. Hey, that opens a line if you'd like to join us. I actually have 2 open lines here. Would love to have you pick up the phone and give us a call. You're guaranteed to get in right now. Our number 576-7798. 576-7798. And let's see here. We got Tim in Kansas City is next. Hi, Tim. What can I do for you?
Good morning.
Morning.
I've got a water heater nightmare I got to share with you.
Okay.
And the whole thing starts back about 3.5 year ago. I discovered my hot water heater was out.
Okay.
That was problem number 1. Problem number 2, I called my plumber, who we've used for 25 or 30 years, and found out he had retired.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So I called.
Your plumber's kind of like your doctor, you know. You get to know them and trust them.
That's right. You depend on them.
Yeah.
But also, in an act of desperation, we called one of the large plumbing companies, I won't name them by any means,
okay,
to come out, and they installed the new hot water heater for us.
Mm-hmm.
And when I called them initially, I told them I wanted a fast recovery unit, and the person on the desk, and when they gave me the price, I about fainted.
Yeah.
So they talked me into the idea that I really didn't need the fast recovery because we don't have kids in the house anymore. It's just my wife and I.
Yeah.
So I bought off on a standard unit,
mm-hmm.
and they put it in. And I have cussed the thing for 3.5 years because it seemed like we never had enough hot water. I didn't know whether it was a company. I cussed the manufacturer. It's a state water heater,
mm-hmm.
and I know they're a good unit.
Yeah.
This past week, I had a guy in my house. We were putting a deep sink in our basement, and when he went to tap into the water lines to hook
mm-hmm.
up the sink, he looked at me kind of weird and said, "Do you realize your water heater's hooked up backwards? The hot water's on the cold side, the cold water's on the hot side."
Oh, really?
And I kind of went ballistic. I've cussed this thing for 3.5 years.
Oh, my God.
And so I called the company up and that put it in and told them what happened, and they were kind enough to send somebody out to correct the situation. The crazy part about it is the young man that came in first decided to tell me that I love this, my water pipes are twisted. Now, I'm not a plumber, but I know there's only one water pipe coming in the house, and you can't twist it.
Yeah.
And he started checking the house, and he tried telling me that the builder, when they built the house 45 years ago, had plumbed the thing incorrectly, and I knew that wasn't
plumbed the house or the water heater?
He's tried telling me that all the water pipes in the house were in backwards.
Oh, really?
And so finally, I just correct the situation at the water tank, and we'll part company at that point, which he did. And the change has been absolutely unbelievable. We now have water that we hadn't had. My question is this. How much damage, if any, has been done to the water heater because it was plumbed incorrectly and has been running backwards, for lack of a better way?
No damage to the water heater. The only damage is psychological damage to you for having high blood pressure for the last 3.5 years over this. But it won't hurt the water heater at all. It just will result in you not getting much hot water, but it won't hurt the water heater, so don't worry about that.
Okay, so the water heater has not been damaged. I was concerned, if I'm dealing with a warranty problem on down the line, or anything like that. No, we've got lots of hot water now. The difference is phenomenal.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. Well, anyway, you can don't worry about damage done to the water heater. There isn't any damage done to it. It just was an aggravation for 3.5 years, and it's fixed. So one of those deals where you just write it off to a bad experience.
It really kind of cracked me up on the guy as he's leaving. He wants to know, well, why didn't you have us correct this several years ago? And I didn't know it was backwards.
Yeah, you're the damn expert, not me.
I'm not a plumber. I assume when you come in, you know hot from cold.
Yeah, really. And the thing is, it's not like you don't get any hot water at all. It's just you don't get hot water like you're supposed to.
Right. And at first we blamed it on the fact that we didn't
get the high recovery.
We didn't get the high recovery.
Yeah.
So we're dealing with several different situations here all at one time.
Well, the lesson learned there is just because the company's big doesn't mean it's good.
Yeah, well, tell me about it. Do you service South Kansas City?
Yeah, we sure do. You're talking like Belton and Grandview and all that.
You're right.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, sure do.
Okay, well, that's good to know. We'll be in touch.
Okay.
All right.
Hopefully you don't need me for a while.
Well, yeah, for a little while. At least I don't have to worry about having to put a hot water heater in for a while.
Yeah. Okay. Well, glad you got it solved anyway. All right. No damage done.
Good. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Oh, man, what a story. Golly, that would be aggravating. Hey, you're listening to the Home Improvement Hour with Dick Ray, the Master Plumber. We actually got 2 open lines now, so pick up your phone, give us a call if you got a question you'd like to ask me. We got 2 open lines. The number is 576-7798. And let's see. Let's talk to Bob in Kansas City. Hi, Bob. What can I do for you?
Yes, thank you. I have an issue with my my kitchen faucet, the hot water line.
Yeah.
I'll turn on the water kind of high, and sometimes once it gets hot within 30 seconds, I'll hear the line cut off, and the water will just cut to a trickle, and then I'll turn it off.
You'll hear something? You say you'll hear the line cut off. What do you mean?
It's like when you shut off like on a washing machine. If you turn the faucet on one of the lines, you turn it. You'll hear it just kind of stop. It'll kind of shake.
And so you can hear
it cut off.
Okay.
And that's what happens. And then I'll shut the water line off, and then I'll turn it back on. And it comes back on. It's very sporadic. It's only in the kitchen, and it's only on the hot water line. I wondered if there was maybe an obstruction in the line, because it doesn't happen all the time. It happened last night for the first time in about a month.
You know, this sounds like a call that I got, I think it was just yesterday during the day, from a woman who actually, she knew what the problem was. She just didn't know how to cure it. And anyway, this is something that they've come out with in the last 5 or 10 years, and you don't see these very often. I don't think I've ever seen one on a service call, or I've never had my plumbers talk to me about it. But they make a shut-off valve that goes underneath kitchen sinks and toilets and lavatories and so on. And you know the little chrome-plated shut-off valves, one on the hot side, one on the cold side under the kitchen sink. They have started making valves that are supposed to eliminate flooding from a catastrophic rupture of the water supply line. And they will let water flow through the valve at a normal flow rate, but like when a line ruptures and the flow rate's not 2.5 gallons per minute, it's 5 gallons per minute or 10 gallons per minute, then it has an automatic shutoff built into the valve. And what you're describing sounds like what that valve does. You hear a little pop, and then the water supply gets shut off or goes to almost nothing. So I'm just wondering if that isn't it. And then anyway, that would be the first thing I would check. It's got to be something in that valve under the sink on the hot side, or I suppose it could be something in the cartridge of the faucet, although I've never heard of a faucet cartridge with those kind of symptoms. I suppose.
I just started noticing it a few months ago, actually, or less than that, and it never happened before.
Yeah. It might be a failure of that automatic shutoff feature in that valve, if that's what you got.
Okay.
Either that or a problem in the cartridge of the kitchen faucet, one of the two, I'd say.
Okay, well, I appreciate that. One quick question.
Yeah.
I have an old hot water heater. It's probably going to need to be replaced soon. How do you feel about tankless water heaters as compared to the conventional water heaters?
If I just had enough time. Yeah, you haven't listened to this show very long, or you'd know the answer to that question. You know, as a plumber seeking to make a profit, I should endorse tankless water heaters because they're a lot bigger sale than a tank-type water heater, and I'd make a lot more money off of them. But I am troubled by having a conscience. And for a typical residence, I mean, there are commercial applications where they're wonderful, but typical residential application, I just have a hard time recommending something that I wouldn't have in my own house.
Right.
The biggest manufacturer of those tankless water heaters offered to give me 2 of them, one for my own house and, one for whatever. And I turned them down. I just, they are... The problems with them is that they are expensive to install, and they are extremely sophisticated. And sophisticated's okay if you're going to save a whole bunch of money, but you don't save a whole bunch of money. I read a Consumer Reports article on them that said a typical family, a man and his wife and a couple of kids, is going to save $30 or $40 a year, and that just isn't worth it. And then you factor in the fact that the manufacturer's instructions say that you need to pump a vinegar solution through the heat exchanger every 12 months, and that aggravation or paying somebody like me to do it, there goes your $30 or $40 a year savings. I'll guarantee it. I just, get a tank type water heater. You're better off.
Sounds good. Okay.
Okie doke.
Thanks for your help.
You bet.
Right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, that opens the line. If you'd like to join us, our number 576-7798. Phone line's been really busy today, and we like that. We've got one open line now at 576-7798, but it's often difficult to get an open line during this show, and that's why for the last several years I've been giving out this invitation, which I'm going to give out again. This is an invitation for you to call me anytime during the week, not just during this show. I mean, the show's only an hour in a week. A lot of times the phone's busy. And plus, a lot of times when something happens, it's not going to wait until Sunday. You need to talk to somebody right away. So anyway, if you need free advice on a project you're working on, you can call me anytime. don't need to feel like you're imposing on me. You can call me after 5 o'clock at night. You can call me on Saturday. You can call me on Sunday. And I really don't mind. I'm serious about this. And to be brutally honest, I'd have to admit that a lot of the calls that I do get are from somebody that just wants me to come out and do the work for them. They either don't have the time, or they don't want to give up their free time, or don't want to mess around with it for whatever reason. And so they call me to do the work. And of course, I like that, because after all, that's how I make my living. But I'm being completely sincere when I say that I absolutely don't mind you calling, even if all you want is just a little free advice on some do-it-yourself project that you're working on yourself. And I'm real easy to get in touch with, because my normal business phone, hey, it rings straight to my cell phone after normal business hours. So really, to get in touch with me, all you got to do is remember one number. Going to give it to you here so you can jot it down for future reference. The number is 913-888-0550. I make this offer in all sincerity. I give out a lot of free advice and information to a lot of people, and I do it willingly. So don't hesitate to take me up on this offer. Once again, the number is 913-888-0550. So whether you just want a little free advice, or if you want me to come out to your house and take care of a problem, either one, the number to call is the same. Don't hesitate to call me at whatever time is convenient for you. It doesn't have to be Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. It can be any time. Hopefully not 2 o'clock in the morning. Anyway, the number again, 913-888-0550. We're going to get back to the phone. Still got one open line. Our number is 576-7798. If you call us right now, guaranteed to get in, because we got one open line at 576-7798. And let's see, we're going to talk, oh golly, I'm not sure about the name. Is it Fanny in Peculiar?
Yeah, it's Fane.
Fane, okay. Well, that's what he wrote. I just didn't believe
it.
Yeah,
that's fine. Not a big. Hey, sir, I bought a house about 3 years ago down Peculiar off in there, and it's a 2-story. And ever since I lived there, I could actually smell like just in the master bedroom, we can get that, like you open the door for the bathroom, you kind of have that odor smell. And I don't know what the deal is. What we did is me and the girlfriend actually looked online, and what we do is we put baking soda and white vinegar down there, and it knocks it out for a month or a few weeks or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But what could that be causing that? And we got a lagoon, so it ain't like on city sewer or nothing.
Does it smell like a sewer odor, I guess?
Yeah, it does. It's only in the shower in the master bedroom you can smell it. But it is like an odor, like a crappy kind of smell, not like maybe like water, like old water or something maybe.
Does that shower get used on a regular basis?
I use it daily.
Okay. All righty, because if you don't, the trap will dry out, but that's not the case. Now, you said that you cured it by putting baking soda and vinegar down there. That tells me that the odor is coming from up above the trap, and probably that short little piece of pipe, usually less than a foot long, that goes between the grate in the shower and the water standing in the trap. And it's not uncommon to have soap scum and stuff build up in there that can really smell bad. The best way to get rid of it long term is to remove the grating on the shower pan and then get some kind of a brush, a foot long or so. I don't know what it would be, a coffee pot cleaning brush or something. Get a solution of Lysol or Clorox or something, mix up a solution of that and water, and take your brush and scrub the inside of that vertical pipe that leads from the grating on the drain down to the water level in the trap. Scrub it real good. Get a light so you can see what you're doing, and I'll bet you that'll take care of it.
And that's just taking the plate off the shower unit right there.
Yeah, the grating on the floor.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate it, sir. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome, Fane.
All right. Have a good day.
Bye-bye. All righty. I should have believed Robert. He wrote Fane, and I didn't believe him. Sorry about that, Robert. Oh, golly. That opens the line. Number is 576-7798. And let's see. We got Tom in Independence. Hi, Tom. What can I do for you?
Hi, Dick. Thanks for taking my call today.
Sure.
I've got a dishwasher in the residence that has been out of service for quite a few years, and the water line is still hooked up. Am I just biding my time before that water line breaks, or what's your suggestion as far as taking it out? As far as, does it need to be capped off, or is there a water shutoff valve under there? Or what do you suggest?
Now, you said the dishwasher has been removed, but the line is still there in place?
No, the dishwasher is still in place, and it hasn't been working for several years, but it's still
and so the line's still hooked up to it, and you're worried about, is the line going to break?
Yes, sir.
Oh, it probably won't break, but since I told you that, it'll probably break tonight. But you know how that is. But
yes,
it probably will be just fine. But usually, right underneath the kitchen sink, which is usually right next to the dishwasher, usually there's a shutoff valve on that line. And if so, it would be a good idea just to shut it off. It's not going to hurt anything. The dishwasher isn't being used, so,
Okay, one quick question before I get off the phone.
Yeah.
How come what is the reason that the water refill in the stool only comes halfway up? Like when you
mean when you flush the toilet, the water level in the bowl only comes up to half its normal level?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I can tell you that one. Take the lid off the toilet tank, flush the toilet, and you will see, there's a fluid level control valve on the left side of the tank. Okay. And attached to that valve is a tiny little tube, smaller than the diameter of a pencil ordinarily. And that tube goes over to the center of the tank to the overflow. And when you flush the toilet, water should be coming out of that tube and going into the overflow. And that tube is called the refill tube because it refills the water in the bowl. And and a couple of possibilities. One is that the tube isn't in the overflow anymore. It's come out of there for some reason. And if that's the case, just put the tube back in the overflow. If the tube still is in the overflow but no water's coming out of it, then you'll have to replace the fluid level control valve to rectify the problem. But that ought to be an easy one to fix.
Sounds great, Dick. I appreciate your advice, and thanks again for taking my call.
You're very, very welcome. Appreciate the call. Okay, let's see here. Excuse me. Let's see. We got Robert in Kansas City. And by the way, I can see we're going to run out of time here. So Jesse and Ron, hang on. I'll talk to you. It's going to be off the air probably. But Robert in Kansas City, what can I help you with?
Good morning, sir. Thank you for taking my call.
You bet. Talk quick because I'm almost out of time. Got 1 minute.
Talk quick. I've got a real musty, moldy smell around the washing machine that is in a laundry closet off of the kitchen. And I'll be darned if I can figure out what it is.
A musty smell is different than a sewer odor. A musty smell usually is caused by moisture just sitting on the floor or soaked into the sheetrock or something like that. And usually to cure that, you're going to have to find where the moisture is. You may have to pull the washing machine out a little bit. But if you smell a musty smell, usually it's water, just a dampness in the sheetrock. If it was a lot of water, you'd see it because it'd be running across the floor. But it's probably some kind of dampness that's just there and you haven't seen it yet.
Okay, thank you.
You bet. Appreciate the call. Hey, we're out of time. You're listening to the Home Improvement Hour with Dick Ray, the Master Plumber. If you need my help or need my advice, again, the number is 913-888-0550. Go enjoy the weather, and we'll see you next Sunday.
The most news, the most traffic, the most weather.
24/7.
This is KMBZ.
KMBZ.
AM, FM, HD1.
Kansas City.
12 o'clock in Kansas City from the KMBZ Newsroom. I'm